What's going on, everyone out there in YouTube land? So today we're going to have a look at a all-in-one device. This one caters to pretty much everyone out there. The new vapor, the beginner, the experienced vapor. Doesn't matter who you are, this one caters to everyone. This is the Joyetech Penguin, and this is a all-in-one pod-style device. What makes this one unique is you don't need to toss the pod away when it's empty. You could actually refill this one time and time again, which is really cool. Now at the moment, I do have two of these, and there are two different coil options. We have a DL coil, which stands for direct lung. If you're looking for more vapor and you're looking to do a direct lung inhale, the DL coil is going to be more suited for you. And then I have the MTL coil in this one. MTL stands for mouth to lung. It gives you more of that cigarette kind of feel, tighter draw, less vape, but once again, more for the newer vapor. If you like that tighter draw that kind of mimics a cigarette, the MTL coil is the ideal one. At the moment, I'm vaping on some unicorn cakes from Vape Breakfast Classic. Not really a big fan of this juice. Not really enjoying it all that much, but I'm still vaping on it. Let's have a quick vape off the DL coil, and then we'll have a quick vape off the MTL coil. Nice amount of vapor. Let's have a vape off the mouth to lung coil. Beautiful. Now these devices were sent over directly by Joyetech for the purpose of this review, and if you guys are interested in picking one up later on after the video, I will have a few links posted in the description. Price tag on the Penguin, very impressive. The cheapest I found it was $20. The price range anywhere from $20 to $30 for the kit. The kit will include a device, the tank, and two coil heads. Replacement coils I priced around $9 for a 5-pack, and if you wanted to purchase additional cartridges, I priced them to be around $3 per cartridge. So before we get any more into this, why don't we dive down? Let's have an up-close look at it. I'll show you guys how it works. I'll show you how to fill it. We'll have a look at the coil heads. We'll come back up. We'll have a vape, go through some pros and cons, and I'll let you guys know exactly what I think. Presentation box for the Joyetech Penguin comes in this nice presentation box, and on the back it does have the contents of the box along with a scratch and sniff, so that way you could check the authenticity of your device. Inside the box, we're going to get the device itself. They're also going to include two coil heads, and we'll talk more about these coil heads later on in the video. They're going to give you a micro USB charge cable. You'll get a silicone cap for the mouthpiece and also for the cartridge. And they're also going to include a plug, so that way if you want to store your cartridge. And then last up, they're going to include a user manual that goes over the features and how to install the coil heads. The Penguin is available in a silver finish, as you can see here. It also comes in a white, black, blue, or red finish. Dimensions, 102 millimeters tall from the bottom to the top of the mouthpiece, 52 millimeters wide at its widest point, and 26.5 millimeters thick at its thickest point. This one does weigh in with the battery at 130 grams. At the top is going to be your mouthpiece or your drip tip. Now, this is not removable. It's all one solid piece, and you can't swap out the drip tips. And this whole piece right here comes out. They also include a little silicone sleeve. You'll notice there is a hole inside the sleeve. So if you prefer the feel of silicone on your lips as opposed to plastic, you can go ahead and pop this on there. Very comfortable mouthpiece though. Really, really comfortable mouthpiece. Working our way down, you'll notice there's a little cutout right there. That's going to be the airflow. And then below that, we're going to have your firing switch. Very comfortable firing switch. Very large, easy to find, located in the perfect spot, because when you're holding your device, your finger's laying right there. Very clicky and responsive. I've had no issues with the firing switch. And then below the switch, it's going to be your battery indicator. And depending on the number of lights, depends on the charge status. As you see at the moment, it is fully charged. And then below that is going to be your micro USB port. and that's what you're going to use to actually charge the device. And when you plug in the device, depending on the number of lights you see, depends on, once again, how charged your battery is. Along the bottom right here, we do have the Penguin logo laser etched into the finish. At the bottom, we do have some holes cut out for ventilation to keep the device nice and cool. And then on the front and the back, we don't have any logoing. Very clean design. They didn't gunk it up with logos and graphics. They kept it very nice and neat. The finish on here is a nice kind of matte finish. Feels real comfortable in the hands, doesn't pick up fingerprints. Overall, the finish seems to be pretty durable. Now, to access the cartridge and the coil head, this whole portion right here is going to remove, and you'll see a little cutout on the side right here. You can go ahead and stick your nail in there or your finger, and you got to kind of get your nail underneath there and then slide it off. And this is going to be the cartridge and also the compartment that holds your coil head. It kind of looks like an ink cartridge. And if you look along the side right here, you'll see it has the ml capacity. This one will hold 8.8 mLs of liquid, or you could purchase the smaller 2 ml cartridge, and you'll see that this little compartment is actually made of silicone and PET, so it is going to be safe with e-liquid. We have a silicone insert, and this is going to hold the coil and also seal off the juice compartment. Now, if you'd like, over a period of time of using different liquids, you can wash these out. All you got to do is just pop that silicone out, and then you can soak this in hot soapy water. You know, like I said, if you've been using it for a week or two and you want to clean it out, and then after you clean it out and let it dry, just go ahead, pop this back in. Make sure you seal it up tight, because this does seal off the liquid compartment. And then when you go to fill it, that hole right there along the side is going to be the air hole that leads to the mouthpiece. So you want to make sure you do not get liquid in that hole. What you want to do is you want to fill it in that center hole. And then what you want to do is grab your juice bottle or your glass dropper bottle, place the bottle or the tip down into the hole, and then just go ahead and squeeze it and fill it up. And then we have a little window right here that'll let you know exactly how much liquid you're putting inside the cartridge. Now, they do sell extra cartridges if you want to have a few of these laying around with juice pre-filled. They do offer these cartridges on various websites. They range anywhere from $3 to $4 for the cartridge itself, and they do include a little cap right here. Well, actually, what you would do is, if you have liquid inside of it, to prevent leakage, what I recommend doing is installing this cap they include. That will seal it off so it doesn't leak, and then you can install the dust cap to prevent further leakage. Now, inside the kit, they're going to include 2 coil heads. The coil heads are called the JVIC coil heads, which stands for Juice Vertical Injection Coil. They're going to include a 0.6 ohm mouth-to-lung coil, and they're going to include a 0.25 direct lung coil. And as you can see here, here's one of the coil heads, and it says at the bottom which coil head it is. This is the 0.25 DL direct lung coil. This one is going to give you a little bit more vapor, and also it's going to be a little bit more wide open so you can do direct lung inhales. And the coil itself has a ceramic housing. So this is all ceramic. Organic Japanese cotton on the inside. And they are using Kanthal wire for the coil. And when you first use your coil for the first time, make sure you put a few drops of liquid down into the coil head right here to prime your coil head. So put maybe 2 on this side, flip it around, put 2 drops on this side, and that way it will saturate the cotton. Here's a look at the 0.6 MTL mouth-to-lung coil head. And once again, this one will give you a tighter draw with less amount of vapor. So to show you guys how to quickly get it set up and started, take your bottle of juice, pop it down in the center hole. You can look along the side right there in the viewing window. You can go ahead and fill it up. It's kind of hard to see the level liquid through that window. And I'm not going to fill it up all the way, but go ahead and fill it up to the max line. And if you overfill it, you're going to get liquid down into the air hole, so make sure you don't overfill it. Once you got that going, you're going to have to set this off to the side. Go ahead and take your coil, and like I said, if you have a new coil, take a few drops, just run it on one side, and a few drops on the other, just to prime the coil head. Go ahead and line up the coil, pop it into place, like so. Go ahead and install it. Give it a minute, give it between 2 and 5 minutes, just for the coil head to kind of soak up some of that liquid, and then you're ready to vape it. Now, if you want to change out the coil head, or if you want to fill your tank, all you're going to do, get your nail under there, pull out the cartridge, and this part, you're going to have to get your nail, as you can see, right under this little opening. I don't have any nails at the moment, but whichever side is easier for you. And this is the tricky part sometimes. And just pull it up, pop it open, go ahead and fill it up, or change out your coil, and then just pop it back in. Looking down inside the mod, you'll notice that we have the positive and the negative contacts at the bottom, and the little latch that locks the cartridge into place. Now, the Penguin device does have an internal battery. It has a 2,000 milliamp hour internal battery that you cannot remove. It is not user serviceable, and the only way to charge it is over USB. But the nice feature about the Penguin is that we have 2 amp charging. So this 2,000 milliamp hour battery charges very, very fast. Showing you guys a quick size comparison, here is the Penguin next to an NV Fit, another pod system, and also next to a Therion Dual 18650 device. As you can see, the Penguin is a little bit larger, but it does have a much longer lasting battery, and it holds much, much more liquid when compared to the NV Fit. So that's pretty much going to be it for the up close and personal. Let's jump back up and let's have a vape. So there you have it, guys, up close and personal with the Penguin. Let me have a quick vape, and then we'll jump into some pros and cons. Starting off with the pros. Pro number 1, the fact that this can cater to pretty much anyone, the new vapor or the experienced vapor. For someone like me who likes to vape on higher wattages, big tanks, I would prefer something like this. I would want to bump up my nic level. I currently vape 3 milligram, and I would more than likely vape 6 milligram in here. I don't want to get too high on the nicotine because this thing actually does put out quite a bit of vapor, so I don't want to do an 18 or a 24, but a 6 milligram would be perfect. If I'm going out somewhere and I don't want to attract too much attention by blowing big clouds, this would be perfect to bring along. Also, for the new vapor, looking for something very simple to operate, very easy to use. You don't have to invest too much money, and also you don't need to invest in a battery charger. I think this is an awesome idea. Very simple to operate, one button, and I think this is the perfect choice for a new vapor. So we're going to give it a thumbs up for that. The next pro is going to be, it is comfortable and it's very simplistic. Really comfortable device to hold on to. The drip tip, very comfortable. The button, clicky and responsive, and it doesn't just, it looks very simple. It doesn't have a big Penguin logo on the front or the side. You know, it doesn't strike too much attention. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up for the overall simplicity and the looks of it. The next pro, the mouthpiece is very comfortable. Kind of plays in with the first or the second pro, but the mouthpiece on here, you know, I thought I wasn't going to be a fan of the fact that I can't replace it, but it's actually very comfortable in the lips, and it doesn't get warm or hot, which is really nice. So, going to give it a thumbs up for that. The next pro, the battery lights or the battery indicator lights on the side. I love the fact that it tells you, you know, how much battery life you have left, so that way, if you go out, you're not going to be stranded with a dead device. So that's a really nice feature to have. Thumbs up for that. The next pro is a 2 amp charging. Now, this has a 2,000 built-in milliamp hour battery, and with that 2 amp charging, this thing charges instantaneously. It is a small battery. It's not going to get you through an entire day, but it will charge very fast, which is really nice. So, thumbs up for that. The next pro is that it actually puts out a really good vape. I was really, really surprised when I got this. I thought I wasn't going to use it, but I put some liquid in there, And the direct lung coils are very satisfying. With 3 milligram, you know, they're good, but I probably bump it up to 6. And the flavor on these things is actually not bad for a pod system. I was shocked at how good this thing was. So thumbs up for that. The next pro, or the last pro, is the fact that it does hold 8.8 mLs of liquid, which I think is actually the biggest capacity pod system or pod-like system on the market, and the fact that you have the option of purchasing the 2 ml tank, which is really nice. So yeah, thumbs up for that. Let's go through some of the cons. I only have one con with this device, and it's more of a personal con, but I noticed that when changing out the coil or having to fill it, that it can get a little messy because you always have to end up touching the coil. You know, I'm not really a fan of having to always pull out the coil every time I want to fill it, but as long as you fill it up at home before you go out, you should be fine. Filling it up outside, you might get juice all over your hands, you have to rinse your hands off and whatnot. It's not messy, it doesn't leak, but I hate having to remove the coil every time I want to go to fill it. And other than that, that's pretty much the only con I have with this device. So at the end of the day, would I recommend the Penguin? The answer is going to be yes. This is only probably my second or third pod style system. I mean, I don't know if you want to call it a pod style, but whatever you want to call it, it's a pretty awesome device. Very easy to use, and you look at it and it doesn't look like it would be a satisfying vape, but if you bump up your nic level just a little bit, it's actually a really satisfying vape. Very simple to use, and the fact that I can recommend this to a new vapor or an experienced vapor is a pretty awesome idea. So yes, at the end of the day, I would highly, highly recommend the Penguin. So that's pretty much going to be it, guys. That's all I got for you today. If you have any comments or questions on the Penguin, please feel free to leave them below. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll talk to everyone very, very soon. Make sure you guys build safe and vape on.